Do you know how old our Earth is? It's more than 4 billion years old. And all of us have been alive for merely a blink of an eye. So it was not easy to find out how we got here. But over time, scientists pieced together the story of life. They found the most powerful scientific theory to explain the history of life. It's called evolution. Hi, it's me, and this is our channel. Evolution is the most powerful scientific theory that tells the story of life's journey over millions of years. Every living being carries a genetic past, and our DNA holds the silent memories of countless species that lived before us. But what does evolution actually mean? Well, you can break it down into two parts. First, there's evolution as a process, and second, there's evolution as a theory. As a process, evolution just means change over time. In other words, if things don't change, they eventually die. That applies to people, societies, technology, and yes, even species. Take the dodo bird, for instance. Dodos were white-throated or Eurasian nightingales that flew over from Europe to the island of Mauritius, where they evolved into flightless birds with shorter wings and bigger bodies. Their ancestors had flown over from Europe because there weren't any predators on the island to hunt them down, so they didn't need to fly back. They were safe. And since no one or nothing was chasing them anymore, they stopped flying altogether. Eventually, they became flightless birds that couldn't even fly short distances. And when humans arrived on the island, these poor birds were hunted to extinction. They went from existing to extinct in a few hundred years. That is evolution in action. But that's not what we usually mean by evolution. When scientists talk about evolution, they're referring to a theory that describes how and why species change over time. And the driving force behind this change is natural selection. Natural selection was first described by Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace in the mid-19th century. It's often summarized by the phrase survival of the fittest. Though that phrase is a bit misleading, it doesn't refer to the strongest or smartest animals, but rather the organisms best adapted to their environment. Those individuals are the ones that survive and get to reproduce, passing on their genes to the next generation. Those genes make their offspring better adapted to their environment, and the cycle continues. Those who can't adapt eventually die out. Over millions of years, this process has given rise to all the different species on Earth. Darwin's finches on the islands are probably the most famous example of this. These birds descended from a common ancestor, but they evolved into different species after arriving on different islands. The food available on each island determined the shape of their beaks. Birds with beaks best suited to the available food source survived and reproduced, and over time, they evolved into new species. The fossil record also tells a story of evolution. About 350 million years ago, the first amphibians evolved from fish and stepped onto land. During the age of dinosaurs, small mammals lived in the shadows, and after the extinction of the dinosaurs, they rose to dominance. And finally, around 300,000 years ago, Homo sapiens appeared. Just think about that for a second. Humans have been around for 300,000 years, which is nothing compared to the age of the planet. When you look around you, everything seems static. Dogs stay dogs, rocks stay rocks, and people stay people. But if you zoom out and take a really long view, you can see that everything changes. Even within the human body, the traces of evolution remain. Our coccyx, or tailbone, is a remnant of our tailed ancestors, and the appendix is a leftover from an older, more complex digestive system. And even today, evolution continues. Bacteria developing resistance to antibiotics are living proof of evolution in action. You might think of evolution as a ladder leading to humans at the top, but that's not how it works. There is no goal, no direction, and certainly no ladder. Life on Earth has a branching pattern like a tree. We are not separate from nature. We are simply one link in the endless chain of life that has lasted for billions of years. Understanding evolution helps us understand ourselves better, where we came from and where we might be going. It's the grand unifying theory of biology. What do you think? Is there anything that confuses you about evolution or anything you'd like us to clear up? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an awesome episode. See you next time.